While the likelihood of an April Direct may be cooling, the rumor mill is still heating up when it comes to new Switch consoles, as a new report from Nikkei is giving us interesting updates on when they believe the Nintendo Switch Mini will be releasing and what exactly it will be capable of. Gabe, this is very nifty because we were just talking about if the save data transfer features in Switch version 8.0 are hinting and laying the groundwork for a soon-to-be-released new Switch console. And now, building on the Wall Street Journal, Eurogamer, and other rumors, Nikkei is coming through and saying that, hey, it's cheaper, it's a portable, and it's coming this fall.
Yeah, I mean, the groundwork is definitely being laid. Is it for something soon? Who knows? But now that the rumor is saying fall and not summer like some of the original rumors, I'm wondering a lot of things in my head right now, Zach.
Yeah, definitely let us know what you're wondering in the comments down below, how you feel about this. If you enjoyed the video, definitely leave a like. It helps out a lot. I mean, fall is what I always thought. That makes the most sense. That's when the big stuff comes out. That's when Nintendo has, Pokemon Sword and Shield. Most likely Animal Crossing will release closer to that time frame as well. Makes a lot of sense. But we did hear this, hey, as soon as the summer. It then begs the question, is there still two new consoles? There's still a Pro and a Mini. Could the Pro be the one that hits the summer? Did we have it backwards and that the Mini may be the latter and not the first to release? Or is there just one? Or is it that the Pro is coming in 2020? I don't know, but it is interesting to see fall being specifically called out here. And I'll point out that this is coming via translation from medium.com. Sometimes it's a bit tricky to get the exact verbiage, but fall is pretty darn concrete within this article.
Yeah, I mean, if this ends up being the case, then Nintendo has an amazingly huge fall coming up because they have Sword and Shield, and people care about Pokemon when it's a new generation. I know that Let's Go maybe didn't light the world on fire. It still sold well, but yeah, I mean, not anything like the traditional stuff. And now with Sword and Shield and then a mini version where you can give this to way younger audiences and have them just take it with them anywhere, it's going to be super interesting to see just how well they can do, because what better way to push some new hardware than to bundle it with games. And they have a ton of games, even if it's not the newer stuff. They can bundle it with any number of things that have been out for a while and start selling these things at a cheaper price and just do really well for themselves.
Yeah, the cheaper price to me is the highlight, because you still can take Pokemon Sword and Shield on the go with the regular Switch, right? So it's got to be that lower price that really is appealing, especially because this article is also saying that while the main functionality will be targeted towards portable gaming, they're hearing it still will be able to connect to the TV, which to me is very curious, because I always assumed one of the things they would remove from this portable-only Switch would be the docked mode. Because if it's still docked, this basically just becomes, a cheaper, more plasticky Switch?
Well, that's the most interesting part of this to me, right? And bear in mind, this is just rumors and reports, and things could be wrong, and maybe it isn't able to still be played on the TV whatsoever. But if it is, I'm just completely confused why it exists at that point then. Because ours is already, the current Switch is already portable. It already connects. Why at that point?
I think it's just form factor and price, right? I mean, you've seen that with the 3DS lineup. It's not like they, with the XL or whatever. That's just literally a form factor adjustment. And so perhaps that's what this is, a little bit smaller so that it does have a little bit more portable appeal. They're able to remove, maybe some of the more expensive aspects and get it down to a cheaper price point. I'm still so curious then what happens with the Joy-Con, because if you are docking this, Gabe, they have to come off, right? Or is this a case where it's not docked, it's just corded in and you just hold it and
play with a Pro Controller, play with a different controller, I mean,
it becomes so jumbled.
That's why I have to believe, and clearly they have sources I don't, but it just doesn't make any sense for it to still connect to the TV. And you've always maintained kind of that they don't want to get rid of the thing that makes the Switch the Switch. They still want the docked and portable, because that's very important to what the Switch does. So right. I mean, kudos to you if this ends up being the case for always saying that they could still have this thing be docked, but I just don't see it.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense because I literally thought that this was going to sort of fill the shoes of the 3DS and be a cheaper, smaller thing targeted at kids, a lower price point that still played all the great games and had the Joy-Con permanently attached. We talked about how that would affect multiplayer or not, but regardless, the Joy-Con being attached and it being a one single unit made a lot of sense. But now, Gabe, I'm going to go out and say that I think that this literally is now going to be just a change in form factor, just a change in materials for a price difference. And I think it's going to retain majority of the same features and same controllers and same everything, and it's literally just going to be not a Switch Portable, but really just a Switch Mini. Exactly what that means. It is the Switch. It's just smaller and a little bit cheaper, which is a weird thing to put out there, and you know what justifies the more expensive, quote, regular Switch. But that's now where I'm kind of leaning.
I mean, again, I just go back to like why at that point. Yes, make it cheaper, sure, but like how much more profit is, because Nintendo, as far as I know, you can correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't sell their consoles at a loss. So how much more profit are you gonna make by just like making it like more like plastic?
I think it's an effort to really spread the sales. They've talked about, you know, their goal went from one per household to multiple per household, and I don't think you can do that at $250.
So then, what does this mean for the current Switch? Like, is it?
I think
it's still there.
Here's my new crystal ball theory, and you know, I'll mark this down, so we'll see if this comes true. I think that they may be looking to eliminate the Switch. I think that they may be looking, if they are going to go with two models, that it is a Switch Mini and it is a Switch Pro. And therefore, they eliminate this middle switch. Initially, I thought, you know, maybe, there's just something for everybody. But now I really do wonder if the goal is, hey, we have a little bit more opportunity to boost the power of the Switch. We also want to get cheaper. We can't go more power and cheaper. So let's eliminate the current tier and create a higher tier and a lower tier. That way we try to appeal to gamers that are going to be very intrigued and mesmerized by next gen. And we also appeal to the 3DS fans, the kids out there, the families that want to have more Switches. They all do the same stuff. They dock, they play on the go, they remove the Joy-Con, they utilize all the controllers. But I think that now, that's my big, bold prediction, is this is going to be eventually a 2-horse race and not 3.
I'm staring at my Switch as we speak. It's currently docked right here to the left of me, Zach. They can't make that thing that much smaller and keep that dock. So they're going to have to change the dock too.
I mean, like I mentioned, the only alternative I see is it just cords in and you still hold the thing. But that's kind of awkward.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be awkward. I wouldn't like that. But yeah, if they want to maintain a dock, they're going to need to like have a different dock. And you know, we've spoken about that. The reason I bring it up is when we first heard these rumors, like you're like, no, like maybe it could still film the current dock. Maybe they don't even got to change the dock. Because I said just remove the dock and you can already make whatever we have now cheaper. But yeah, but you're like, no, what if they want to keep it? It won't fit, dude.
Is there a chance that they go with a different, like a smaller dock that fits both the Mini and the Pro, and therefore sort of helps give this a new flair, new feel? You know, the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X utilize different form factor and help distinguish via color and whatnot. Perhaps they use a different dock, since that sits on the front of every Switch console box, and have that be a little different to really make it feel like, okay, this is a different thing and not just something that changes up the colors or I don't really need.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great for me at least if the Pro had a dock that like did more, right? Like that unlocks some of that extra power that you just couldn't get otherwise. So I mean, that's still my hope for Pro, that it'll obviously have upgraded internals as is because of the handheld performance that you want to probably upgrade as well. But I want something that is going to be clearly, it won't ever be as comparable as like, you know, PS4 Pro or Xbox One X. That's not what I'm saying.
No.
But get as close to it as you possibly can. Like, it'd be good to have some extra juice somewhere. So if they're able to get some of that from a dock, that like, that's my dream scenario. We'll see. Now I'm a little like confused though, man, because the rumor was summer and now the rumor's fall. Like,
well, the summer reveal, I think, still happens. I definitely think these get dropped at E3.
No, but they were saying that they could like drop, like
come out shortly after. Yeah. You know, and I think if you're looking at maybe from Nintendo's perspective, maybe just the consistency and congruency is so important to them. So having a system where like you're having a commercial of like docked play and handheld play, but then you have to make the caveat and the asterisk that on the Mini, it's only playable in portable, and so therefore the specs that you tout, maybe it just got to be where they felt it's too convoluted, and they want all the systems to be able to do the same thing. So when they're developing, when they're advertising, when they're marketing, when they're discussing, it still maintains a similar conversation throughout, you know, so that, hey, even though it is the Mini, you still get to play it docked, you still get to use all the controllers. I wonder if they felt that jumbling that in too much of a way would just become confusing and maybe start leading back into some of the problems they faced, not only with DS iterations, 3DS iterations, but even the Wii U.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, they had no problem removing 3D and still having that asterisk. Like, hey, you know, 3D stuff isn't a thing anymore.
It's just hard if you're having commercials that showcase people playing the games on the go and at home, and one of your systems just cannot do the Switch.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So you know, I don't know if you want to make your call, Gabe, but that's what I feel. I feel like now they're all going to be a lot more similar than maybe we expected, which is both good and bad. Bad because I kind of wanted the future where I have like this little cool Switch that's all connected and just take it with me, and you know, that's all it's for. I still want to get it, but I do feel like, you know, maybe we are gonna see a Pro and a Mini and removing our old faithful.
Yeah, like I said, everything in my head about this topic specifically, not everything, is currently jumbled. I have no idea. Like, honestly, I don't want it to be too similar. I would still like for it to be like different enough that it warrants excitement from me. But yeah, well, I mean, we'll see how that goes.
Let us know your take in the comments down below, everybody. Also, little moment of silence for the quality of life product. Nintendo apparently has canceled development on that, which seems to have been in the works forever, and sadly has yielded not very much. But give us your take on this new rumor, the release window of fall, and what you think it means if they do go docked and portable with all of these, and how you foresee this kind of taking shape as we move through 2019. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, everybody, and are excited for more switcheroos, no matter what shape they take. And until next time, for myself and Gabe, have a fantastic day. Thanks so much. SwitchForce out.